And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Mexa.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090. Good times here. Corey Sandin from MC Swim Baits and Tim Ekstrom in the studio this morning. We're having a great time talking fishing. As we said at the beginning of the show, Pete is continuing our Let's Talk Hookup Alaska adventure. Just finished up an awesome trip at Whalers Cove. We heard him yesterday talk about those big giant lingcod.
60 pounds, Rick? Are you kidding me?
Unreal. And that was just the highlighter. I mean, here in the number of 40 to 50 pounders those guys caught, again on Corey on your MC Slug, which I know Pete feels the same as I. I mean, I think that's the best lure to fish up there, catching those big yellow eyes and big lings. I just love it. And what a great trip those guys had. Continuing on, he's going to be going to Katmai with another group of our great Let's Talk Hookup listeners next week, so we'll look forward to hearing from that. But man, in the studio, I know, Corey, you and I having a great time with Captain Tim Ekstrom here, and lots of fun and so much good stuff to talk about.
Oh, there is, isn't there, Rick? I mean, it's just having him in the studio and talking about all the good times and the innovations and the stuff that have come through him and Randy and Brian on the Royal Star. It's pretty cool.
No doubt about that. If you want to get in on the fun and join us this morning, it has been a crazy busy morning on the phone, but a great time for you to call in right now. We had 2 calls drop during the break on what would be otherwise completely packed phone calls, and they're with our local line. It's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. You can also try us on the toll-free number. It's full right now, but there's going to be plenty of shots to get through in the second hour. That one's 877-792-1090. I want to remind you, too, a great giveaway at the end of the show today. One lucky caller is winning a brand new pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. It's the Big Wave, a really nice pair of glasses with that matte gray frame. It's got the killer blue Hawaii lens and the Maui Pure, which is just the nicest lens material that Maui Jim has. A great, great pair of glasses for one lucky caller at the end of the show. And, you know, talking about having a phone call drop during the break, I was shocked. I hopped onto the Royal Star website, Tim, just looking at your schedule, which, as Royal Star, you know, often is a very full schedule. But you say it all the time. That doesn't mean that there's not little shots of people dropping off, and that's exactly what happened on an ideal time of trip. Labor Day weekend, you guys have a spot that I know the trip was full because I looked at it for a buddy a while ago, and 2 spots just opened up on that one.
Yeah, it happens all the time. It does, you know, scheduled conflicts come up, whatever, and anglers have to drop off a trip last minute or, you know, within a few weeks of the trip. So I always encourage anglers to call. Give Tracy a call. She works for Magic.
She is the best ever.
Oh, yeah. If you really want to go, give her a call. There's so many times where a spot does open up. Give her a call. That's a perfect example. We just had a couple spots open up in the Labor Day. Farther on in September, the guys on it's the San Diego Firefighter Charter. There's 2 or 3 spots
that became
group. Oh, those guys are awesome.
Fun group to fish with.
It's ridiculously fun. And those, again, are those perfect trips that are slated. Main target destination, Guadalupe.
Yeah.
And that is when things really ramp up out there at the island. Not that they haven't already, but that's really the prime time from September 1st to, say, October 30th. There's good fishing on both sides of that, of course, but that's just prime right in the middle of it. So those trips are slated for that. There's a couple of openings. It's the Saturday to Saturday 7-day. Ideal.
Doesn't sound like they're going to be there very long.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Can you do like a floating deposit with Royal Star? Like, was that the type of thing where you know, man, Tracy, I really want to go on a 7-day trip. You know, I know that whatever. Obviously, there's spots right now, but I know these ones are full. Can I leave $500 like just to secure my thing, or do we need to wait until there's a trip open?
No, a lot of anglers do that. They'll want to go on that trip, and then they'll just throw her $500 and say, okay, and that way. If a spot opens up, they immediately have priority.
That's what I'm saying.
It happens automatically.
I didn't want to say it in case that wasn't something you do, but I've always thought, I mean, let's face it, money talks. It shows that you're serious, not shopping around. Maybe I'll do this, maybe I won't. Like, hey, I want it. As soon as a spot jumps up like that, those are the guys that always find their way onto a trip. There's no hesitation. Put me down. put a little floater down. As soon as one opens up, you call me. I'm on it.
That's a great tip, Rick.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep, it's commonplace with us too. That she's got her list of whatever it may be, 10 or 12 anglers, especially in those summer months when it gets busy and they just want to go on a trip.
Yeah.
They throw her $500 and say, hey, anything opens up, give me a call.
Yeah, you want to be on the list that gets the phone call, not scroll through and find it.
That's exactly right.
That's how you find your way onto those lists.
The way the world works. There is a financial element to success.
No doubt about that. Hey, Corey, let's find out what's going on the water. We got Dave Hansen, our FishDope.com reporter, standing by. Today, the Catch Report sponsored by Gamakatsu Hooks, Japan's leading fish hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation, strength and durability. The local tuna season in Yellowtail is happening right now, and you should make the Gamakatsu Nautilus hook your go-to hook. It has the strength and durability as well as the right design to make it easy to hook your bait and put your fish on the deck. Get Gamakatsu Nautilus hooks at your favorite tackle store. Let's talk to the man, Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide. What's up, Dave?
Well, good morning, guys. I'm going to do my best to talk through this. We're out here with War Heroes on the Water, the tournament that Anthony Shea put on. We've been out here for 3 days. We've been looking at the most unbelievable schools of that giant bluefin back here behind Clemente. And we've had phenomenal bass fishing, yellowtail, rockfish. Last night we hooked up the biggest bluefin I personally have ever seen. We fought him for 2.5 hours on the Makaira 130. We had 50 pounds of drag on the fish. We got him all the way to the corner, and the side of his face just peeled off, and we didn't get him.
Oh.
It was unbelievable. Biggest fish I've ever been a part of. We don't catch a lot of that big fish up here like you do, Tim. We don't see much of that when we're calico bass fishing, so it's pretty unbelievable.
You say that now, but the last 3 years, the best big fish fishing in the entire coast of North America has been right here in our backyard.
Unbelievable.
It's just a 200-pounder is commonplace now. It doesn't even draw much of a reaction. You got to get a 300-pounder or a 3 or 4.
Alert the media.
Seriously.
Exactly.
I'm
fishing right next to the Intrepid and the Polaris Supreme and the Spirit of Adventure here, and we're all on the backside of Clemente. And yesterday afternoon, it was like someone was dropping bombs in the water. There was probably 5 square miles of breaking fish.
Wow.
It was absolutely insane. But as far as fishing goes, guys, like I've been saying forever, there's absolutely no reason to not go fishing. If you're waiting for the fish to bite, well, then it's time to go. If you're waiting for something to happen, it's happening. So all I can say is find a boat, go fishing. Fish are biting pretty much everywhere. Whatever you want to catch, it's biting. Get out here. The bluefin fishing's incredible, but the trip that we're on is the most unbelievable thing. I got 3 of the nicest guys. They risked their lives. They've given a lot for us, for this country, and we're showing them a pretty good time here. Unfortunately, that tuna didn't feel the same way I did about it, but he did sacrifice half of his face for him. So,
Hey, Dave, for you to sacrifice your voice for 3 days worth of good times out there, I think we could all give a good chuckle at it.
No doubt, buddy. And what a cool event to get to be a part of, the War Heroes on the Water event that Anthony Shea kind of put together, taking a bunch of veterans out fishing and showing them a good time on luxury boats and big fishing. And I know that you were really stoked to get to be a part of it, and I'm glad you're getting to show those guys such a good time. And glad to hear that there's such good fishing going on right now. And I know, as you always do, Dave does such a great job of putting the info out on fishdope.com. And if you're wanting to go catch a big bluefin, now is the time. And now is the time to get on board fishdope.com. It'll help put you where you need to be to catch a big one. And you can save $20 off of a new membership by using the code HOOKUPNOW. Again, HOOKUPNOW, all lowercase, no space. Dave, if we want to get the final wrap-up, if we want to find out how to catch these big ones, how do we keep in touch with you and your saltwater guide service?
Well, you guys can check me out at yoursaltwaterguide.com. I got a beautiful website there. It's not fish dope by any stretch of the imagination, but we do show you all the techniques on how to catch fish in Southern California. But last night we went Facebook Live with that giant tuna, and in 5 minutes I had 385 people watching me catch that tuna live. So you guys tune into Fish Dope, tune into Your Saltwater Guide, or look at me on Facebook, Dave Hansen. And I'm always, anytime I catch a tomcod or a mackerel or anything, I Facebook Live it. So
get some water on that voice, buddy. Dave, appreciate the phone call. Great report. We appreciate it, and good job showing those guys a good time on the water.
All right, guys. Talk to you next Sunday. Thanks.
All right, Dave. Thanks a lot for that. Hey, phones are packed, Corey. Let's jump back into them.
And they have been, Rick, and we've had a lot of patient callers. And Jim from National City, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup this morning.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Jim. Good morning. You got a question for Tim?
Yeah, I sure do. Good morning, Rick and Corey and Skipper. Skipper, earlier you know my friend Mike Poteet, him and his brother, they're on a charter on your boat every year, and of course Mike just has only the best things to say about you and your crew. I heard earlier you were talking about your endorsement of Shimano, which we all know is a great product. But I was talking to Mike, and he has that new Akuma, and I was wondering if on your boat you have infiltrated the Akuma into your gear, or are you a straight Shimano guy?
No, we absolutely have. Is the
Makaira.
Yeah, the Makaira reels. We actually have a half a dozen of those on the boat, and we use them regularly. Matter of fact, those are two of our kite reels that are set up that we use. I mean, we caught a bunch of fish on them here this year. I love those Makaira reels too. They're great, and they've been very reliable. That's a great product. I think it really comes down to, the Avid reels, the Accurates, the Shimanos, the Okumas. They're all good. I can tell you that with 100% confidence. Any one of those is a great choice. It really comes down to a personal preference. And we're talking the difference between a Ford or
whatever else.
Come on, help me out, man. Some other car.
Yeah, it's all good, but it's just
I got Fords in my family.
We're Ford people here too. Don't worry about that, buddy.
Is there any other car than a Ford? Well, it's a perfect example. I like the Shimano reels because I like the feel of them. I really do. I've been a Shimano guy forever, not because the other ones aren't good, because that's the one
Tim,
that I like.
It's decades worth of research and development, and I mean, since I was a kid, Shimano was the name,
Well, it's just true. I mean, let's go back to the TLD 30. Let's go back. I mean, they've always had a jump. They've always been out ahead. And their products, I said it before, I'll say it again, they're durable, man. They don't break.
And your boat, they're the leader in innovation. I mean, let's just all say it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing, and I do. I've been the Shimano guy all along, and I don't get anything from Shimano. I don't. They don't give me anything free. I don't give a T-shirt. You know what I mean? I just like their product. Yeah. Their products are incredible. And what I want to see more than anything is our anglers come out and be successful. I want them to have the best possible product in their hand to turn their opportunity, convert it into success. And, you can't go wrong using a Shimano reel, but by the same token, heck yeah, man, those Akuma Makairas, again, I'll go down the list, the Avits, the Accurates, they're all good products also.
We're in a great position as far as our tackle being done. When a guy comes into the tackle store, that's our deal too. I'm looking for an 80-pound 2-speed outfit, we pull 6 killer reels by different manufacturers out in the case and just start going through all the attributes, because the reel that feels comfortable to Tim might not be the same one that I like, and it might be different from the one that Corey likes. And the beauty of it is there's a lot of great options. I'm with you. I'm a Metallica guy, but man, there's a lot of killer.
You know what's funny? I think for some reason the reel that would feel most comfortable in my hands is probably going to be different than Tim's.
Maybe.
I'm looking forward to the Shimano DC, the Corrado.
Oh, man.
Right? So it might be a little bit different.
I'll tell you what, one of my favorite all-time reels, I've said it before, is that Trinidad 14, man.
There it is, just a workhorse.
That is the most unbelievable little reel I have ever fished with. It's just the stories I could tell you of what I've seen that reel do, fishing in places where you shouldn't be fishing with it,
right.
The big ones, and all the way down to, calico bass, finesse fishing in the kelp. Oh, my gosh.
What reel can you buy that will fly line an anchovy for a bass and then on the next day be completely comfortable catching a 50-pound tuna?
Oh, yeah.
Like what other reel is there that does that?
Yeah. When my son Duke was a little guy, I used to put a 50-pound, Top Shot fluorocarbon on that 14 all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of those 50 to 70-pound bluefin that he caught on that thing, you just put it on the rail and sit on it, tighten the drag down. And
That's so cool.
Remember I gave you back the one in the shop?
Yeah.
We had one. I kid you not. I think that thing, because we used it as a boat reel too. I'm sure it caught 100 tuna that were in that 30 to 80-pound class.
That's crazy.
And it was still working.
Oh, yeah.
Tim literally brought it in just saying, like, at some point, it's got to get serviced. He goes, this thing's literally caught over 100 fish better than 50 pounds.
Oh my!
And it was still working just fine, but like at some point, something's going to give. We might as well do it now.
Yeah, and I actually, full disclosure, I said Shimano never gave me. I have to come clean. Remember, I gave you that reel. I said send it up, and they just sent a new one back. They said the thing was so beat.
Yeah.
They didn't feel comfortable sending it back out again. That wasn't a good representation of their product on his boat.
But that's their service level.
Yeah, totally.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's happened to me. They deem it unserviceable, like, to that point. Yep.
And the thing really did. You take the reel out of gear, it still free spooled just fine. The handle still turned, but it looked like you just grinded the thing on the side plate with a cheese grater. And they eventually just said, no, just take it. We're gonna swap this one out. Jim, appreciate the phone call very much, buddy. Who's up next, Corey?
Oh, let's do this. And let's talk to Cliff. Cliff's calling from Lakewood. And good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup, Cliff.
Good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cliff.
Hey, Rick, I heard you a couple of shows ago talking about the Talica 20 and renting one. And I don't remember, does Fisherman's Landing rent the Talica 20? Yeah. And does it come fully with line, or are you going to put down an extra?
No, great call, Cliff, for sure. That has been a thing, as Tim was just talking about. The place, the destination for catching giant tuna the last 3 years is at home. It's 1 day range from San Diego, and I know, Tim, you could speak to this better than I. The landing recognized the need for that next class of gear, and let's be honest, sometimes making that investment, it's not the right time for everybody. I mean, they are the best rod and reel out there, but they're also not cheap, and some of the things that was keeping guys from being able to land 150-pounders, not having access to a Talica 20, seeing that was a necessity, the landing went out and purchased the highest end tackle available, and it is available for rent on whatever trip you need from the landing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We just took we took half a dozen of them along with us on our last trip because
there you go.
Yeah, because we had a bunch of guys that needed gear. We wanted to make sure that we had ample supply. Those outfits are fantastic. Most of it's brand new. If it's not brand new, it's only been used a half a dozen times. Talica 20s. The CalStar rods,
CalStar Graphite
760. I think they're 760Hs or something. I mean, or 765s. Beautiful gear, top line, top notch. And I know we invested. I think we have had 15 more this year. We've got at least 25 or 30 of them available for rent.
I think it's even more than that now. And they range anywhere from a Talica 12, because that was the thing 2 years ago. 50-pound bluefins, fly line, and live sardines. So the landing offers Talica 12s all the way up to Talica 25s and everything in between. And you are right, they are fully loaded with Spectra. Top shots are done, CalStar Graphiters, I mean the whole nine. So if an extra $1,000 doesn't work into your budget, you can come on down and just rent one for the trip and be perfectly set up to go do battle with a 200-pound bluefin.
And if you're fishing out of Seaforth Sport Fishing, you're fishing out of Point Loma Sport Fishing, or you're fishing out of Fisherman's Landing, all those prominent major landings, Cliff, you're going to be able to get that level of a rental.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
Nice. I believe so.
Yeah, no doubt.
Very cool.
Cliff, appreciate the phone call very much.
Yeah, I think we need to jump right back into him, and let's talk to Joe. Joe's calling from San Pedro. Good morning, Joe. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call.
What's up, Joe?
Question is, hello?
Yeah,
hello.
Good morning. You have a question for Tim?
Yeah, question for Tim, yes. Buddy of mine convinced me to take my son to his birthday on that redneck rodeo in September.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, looking forward to it. And I just wanted to ask, year in and year out, what would you say the go-to rig is a must to have on that trip?
I think that something that's going to hold a 40 or 50-pound short top shot of fluorocarbon, Talica 16, even a Talica 20 because it's so versatile, the one that we've been talking about. You can also go the Trinidad 20, which is a phenomenal all-around reel. As a matter of fact, if I had my druthers, I would say that Trinidad 20, and then you couple it up with a rod like a 765, and there's a lot of good rods out there. I'm not the tackle geek. I'm going to have to defer to Ricky on that one. But as far as reels go, just all around one reel. If you ask me, either a Talica 16 or 20 if you wanted to go 2-speed, or a Trinidad 20. That is the most versatile reel I can come up with off the top of my head.
So sweet. And what a great trip you picked to go with your son, that redneck rodeo. I've never been on the trip. I don't know the guys at all, other than just interacting with them when they come into the tackle store, and what a fun group of people to get to fish with. That looks like a really, really fun charter to be on.
They're epic guys.
Lighthearted, obviously don't take things too serious, good times, joking, jovial, but respect. That you're going to have such a good time on that trip, Joe.
Good fishing always seems to follow good vibes.
Right?
You know what I mean?
How true is that?
Those guys have been so ridiculously lucky.
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome.
Joe, appreciate the phone call.
And we have absolutely packed lines. You want to give us a call? We have one line open at 858-457-1090, 877-792-1090. We're giving away a pair of Maui Gems. How's it getting better, Rick? We'll be right back on Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090 with Tim Ekstrom.
This is Chelsea from Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We are truly the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Looking for a fishing charter? Dana Landing has you covered with the Blackjack. Perfect up to 4 anglers, or the Impulse up to 6 anglers in comfort and style. Dana Landing has a huge tackle shop with everything you need to go fish bay bass, tuna, or marlin, and our staff will dial you in. We even have Mexican and California fishing licenses and reel repair. Our deli at Dana Landing is a local's favorite with all the food, ice, and beverages you need. Hey, need freshwater tackle? Head to East County Bait and Tackle, the ultimate in rods and reels, the latest freshwater lures and live bait. ECBT has a staff second to none when it comes to sharing their passion for fishing. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check out danalanding.com for more details.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
38 years ago, my parents started Fastlane Sailing Center. They sold catamarans because they wanted to do what they loved and sell what they loved to do. They wanted to share their passion with others, share the stoke. I'm Hayden Lane, and over the last 3 decades, my parents have shared that passion with thousands of people, my brother, sister, and I among them. We grew up right there at the shop in Dana Landing Marina in Mission Bay, sailing on the bay, fishing off the docks, and later off the Hobie Mirage kayaks. We grew up surrounded by the water. Our shop was filled with tools that Hobie and other brands have made to enjoy on the water. And I use them all. I mean all of them. Wouldn't you? So when you come into the shop, you're not going to hear a salesperson trying to convince you to buy something. You're going to hear us bragging about how much fun we have on these toys and telling you to do the same. We test every product out there, and we only sell the best because we want to use the best. So check out our website at FastlaneKayaking.com or get on down to the shop in Dana Landing and find your next adventure.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, Mighty 1090. Such a fun time in here with Tim Ekstrom, Royal Sportfish at Royal Star, and Rick. Nothing but good times.
That sounds good to me, brother. The phones are literally packed solid, not a single phone line available. We're going to jump right into them. Corey, who's up next?
A lot of patient callers, and thank you, John in Upland, for being so patient. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup this morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm on my speakerphone, so hopefully I can get through and we can just have this little conversation. But first of all, I want to thank Rick and Dallas for the great trip we had to Seagoes Island with the Let's Talk Hookup group. We had a great time. And my question is, as far as rigging the flat balls, I have a couple of the 200-gram flat balls. Do you guys recommend re-rigging those, or I just fish them the way they come out of the package?
You know, I think that there are a lot of ways to skin that cat, John, and a lot of it comes up to you how you choose. I think universally, and Tim, you would probably back me up, that there is the first and foremost thing that you for sure want to do is have that thing attached to a heavy piece of fluorocarbon leader. You know, regardless of what you do with the hooks, the main way that we see a lot of those ones going away is from them getting chewed off. They eat it on the sink. Bluefin have a gnarlier set of teeth than a lot of the other tunas, and they're so notorious for getting straight up and down and shaking their head real bad and sawing you off.
But Rick, you mentioned they eat them on the sink, but the result of that is they're down the gullet.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as the hooks go, that, John, is the part that's really up for debate. I defer a lot. You know, we are very fortunate at Fisherman's Landing Tackle there that we get to pick the brains of the Tims and of the Gerbies and Gavin from the Queen and, you know, those guys that do it all the time. And Gavin's the guy that I defer to most. I mean, the Queen arguably catches as many of those fish on the flat falls as any boat out there, and they've had some amazing success. It's his opinion that lure gets bit the very best in its stock form. Stock hooks make that lure quote-unquote swim or sink the best, and so they feel they get the most bites that way. But there is no denying that lure does, I mean, it was not made to catch a 250-pound bluefin. You know, those hooks have bent and they have been chewed off, so then it comes a matter of which way you want to go. You know, every modification that gets done to them affects how the lure falls a little bit, but then on the up column, it starts to, you know, give you a better opportunity once you get a hook into them. So, you know, where do you fall on that, Tim? What's better, getting the bite or putting that real big hook into them to put them on the deck when you do so?
Well, first off, no question about it. That you said arguably about Gavin and the guys in the Queen. It's not arguable. And those guys are they're it, man. They've been way out ahead. They do it every day. Them and the guys in the New Luan, I think, really have the local big bluefin thing sewn up, man. They're just so effective at it. Yeah. And I completely agree with Gavin. I like them stock as they are. They get bit best. I'm convinced of it. And that's the way that thing was designed to fall and flutter, and it does make a difference. I think that myself, I'd probably use it out of the box, and you know, I'm going to take my chances because I want to get that bite. And I haven't seen as many failures with it stock, but then again, you know, we don't do that as much as those guys do. You know, we might go fish those big ones on the back end of a trip, and just because of the geography of it, it's really difficult to do both, you know, fish down below and up there. Regardless, when we've gone with them stock, and I feel that the percentages are high enough using them out of the box that I'd rather leave it that way. Of course, rigging it with that heavy fluorocarbon leader. 150-pound or even heavier, just depending on how they're biting. Doesn't seem to matter much when they're biting a jig that's that big, often in low light conditions, sinking down. It sure doesn't seem to damper things much putting that heavy piece of line on it. It doesn't. You get just as many bites. Yeah, that's good info, John. I hope that helps you out there. Appreciate the phone call very much. Hey, we had a great time. I know Corey, you and I both said the same thing. What a fun time that was having Yanni from Fisherman's Belly in the studio yesterday, cooking up that great goods. Yanni, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Captain Tim. What a great show, and you're absolutely right. I mean, I had such a great time yesterday. I mean, where else can you go on the radio, talk about your favorite subject, and eat at the same time?
Life was pretty good yesterday, buddy.
Oh, listen, I talked about my new recipe, and it's out today on the website at fishermansbelly.com. And that recipe is that grilled yellowfin belly that we ate yesterday on top of that Mediterranean panzanella salad.
I can back it up, and Corey, I know you can do the same. You know, we got to be lucky enough to get to sample that great thing. Watched you put it together like on the table in the radio station. I assure you, you don't need to have a gourmet kitchen to be able to do that recipe. And man, I think you knocked it out of the park.
Yanni, I went home yesterday and actually had that for dinner.
Oh, no kidding, really?
But with a piece of salmon on top, not the yellowfin belly, which I have to say was much better, honestly.
No way, Corey. Good for you, I met you yesterday, and I said to myself, that's my kind of guy right there.
Man,
who likes to eat and who likes to fish. There we go.
Life is good. Yanni, great job yesterday. If somebody wants to see that entire video you put together making that great salad, somebody wants to get more information on all of the great recipes you put together, we always will put them up right away in the Angler's Table section of our website, letstalkhookup.com. How do we find you, and how do we find that great video?
Well, of course, you can go to your website, Let's Talk Hookup. You can go to my website, fishermansbelly.com. I've just put it up. It's under the latest recipe section or under the tuna section. You can go to my YouTube channel, Fisherman's Belly channel, and you'll find the video there. And if you go there, please subscribe, and you'll keep updated with everything that I do.
Great job, Yanni. We had so much fun in the studio with you. Always a great time, a great wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate all the fun and appreciate the great recipes here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Wow, I really appreciate you guys, too. Thank you so much, and I love the Let's Talk Hookup audience. They're the best.
All right, thanks, Yanni. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Corey, who do we got next?
Well, let's do this. And, Rick, we're going to talk to Matt. Matt's calling from La Mesa. Good morning. Welcome. Let's Talk Hookup, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Ricky. Good morning, Tim. I was calling because I'm going on the Larry Brown 7-day at the end of September and hoping we're going to go to Guadalupe in the hopes of my goal this year is trying to catch a large yellowtail on the dropper loop. Any insight on that?
I think, first of all, it's a great place to do that. Those yellowtail out there are funny. I mean, I guess it's just like anywhere, but there's definitely a certain window of the year, in my experience, where that yellowtail moves in from the deep water into the shallows. Last year, matter of fact, it was right around that time. It was like third week of September, second to third week of September, where that yellowtail fishing was game on there. So we'll see if history repeats itself. But there always seems to be some window during the year where all of a sudden those things are just there.
Yeah, okay.
You know, every spot has them on them, and either a fly line or the dropper loop on the bottom. But the one thing I was going to say, Matt, is nighttime fishing.
Okay.
Nighttime fishing there at Guadalupe between 11 and 2, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Really?
That is the magic time.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know, but if you just broke it down over the years, you would find that the best bite time there is between 11 and 2. And needless to say, very few anglers actually put in the time at the rail during those hours. So if the big yellowtail is what you're after, that's what your heart is set on, that's the time to do it. And also, nighttime, far less predation.
Sure.
That's true, yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, they don't really, every once in a while you lose one at night, but the majority of the time, they don't bother us at night.
And Matt, if you get back and you feel like you need a friend to share some of that yellowtail with, I'll tell you, it is the best, period.
Those big ones out there, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, my biggest one there so far has only been 30 pounds, but that being said, thanks to you, Ricky, I have that Talica 22-speed with the Therese rail rod, so that's my go-to outfit at Guadalupe. I don't get as many bites as everybody else, but the bites I do get. So that was well worth the 2-week, I call it my 2-week paycheck rod and reel. It was totally worth it, and it's paid me back tenfold.
Very nice.
Now, Tim, you got an opportunity you've got a magic bait tank that's got any bait a guy would fish in it, and you're fishing during 11 and 2.
Okay, so
issues, you're pinning a bait on. What's going down to the bottom?
I'm glad you brought that up. Slab bait.
No, really? Okay.
The slab. You've got the natural baits around there. Scads are almost always swimming around the boat. Mackerel at night. Get one of those. Slab it out. Slab with a tail on it.
Yeah, okay.
You got to have the tail.
Really?
Slab with a tail. Oh, yeah. And you guys, I cannot tell you how many times where I've seen yellowtail bites at night where if you put a live bait on, you will not get a bite.
Come on.
You will not get a bite. And you put a slab on, bam, as soon as it hits the bottom.
So grab a big scab that's swimming around the boat, throw them up on the table.
Yep. Slab them out.
One
the guys are there
with the tail. Sure.
Yep. And at Guadalupe, at Aleos Rocks, at Aleos Bank, I've seen that countless times where the slab baits are a bite every time, or you get for every one fish you get on a live bait, you'll get 10 on a slab.
That's good.
It's not a secret. I mean, it's legit, man. It's amazing how many times it's like that.
Interesting.
There you go, Matt.
Nighttime though, not daytime. Nighttime in the slab.
What a trip that is.
Yep.
Are you ready to go, Matt?
I am fired up and on a kind of a sad note, this probably will be my last 7-day. My father passed away in January, and he was the one who funded these trips for me. So I do have those memories, but I certainly hope to be on the boat again in the near future after this trip.
You got it, buddy. Well, what a cool way to honor Dad and have a great time on your trip, Matt. Appreciate the phone call very much.
No, that's definitely a good time right there. And
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. Matt's a really good guy. Like I said, Matt, you want to share some of the yellow? I'm on board. So let's talk to Roy. Roy's calling from Huntington Beach. Good morning, Roy. Welcome. Let's talk hookup.
Hey, Ricky, Tim, and Corey.
What's up, Roy?
Morning.
I just got to say, yesterday's show was off the hook. While I was listening to the show, I get a text at 8:08 in the morning from my son, Eric, on the Apollo. And he's got a 205-pound bluefin on the deck.
Hey, right on, Roy. That's awesome.
Woo!
How cool is that?
There's more to the story. I got at about 3 o'clock. I got a text from him. 190-pound bluefin on the deck for him.
Wow. There's a solid limit, a 205 and a 195.
Right?
Yeah. Good day.
And he called me and he said, "My God, there's 3 fish on the line and there's another one attacking."
Wow. What a trip. It is
an epic trip yesterday on the Apollo, and he was invited by a friend of ours to go on the trip. So thank you to him and everybody on that boat.
What a cool story to share, Roy, and congratulations to your son, Eric. That's a lifetimer day right there. You're a limit of a 195 and a 205 going fishing on an overnight trip from San Diego. Pretty darn amazing. Appreciate the phone call, Roy, very much.
No,
that's... had to tell you guys about it.
You got it,
all right.
Glad you did.
Yeah, and hey, Ron, thanks for being patient, too, on the line. We've had full-packed lines, and we're going to take another one that's been waiting a while. And Charlie from Gardenia, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning.
What's up, Charlie?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I had a question for Tim. 2 things, Tim. When you board your boat, could you explain what you guys do and, how you get on the boat? And then for your 2019 schedule, are you going to put up any 3- and 4-day, bluefin trips or bust, for like Clemente?
Well, I don't know about bluefin or bust, but we do have 3-day trips, in particular in June, all the way through July 15th or something. We're going to have at least 4 3-day trips in 2019. Our schedule, by the way, is due to be posted online. We usually bust it out September 1st. It's all written. It's ready to go. Tracy's got it plugged in. We wait until anglers this year have the first opportunity at rebooking. Anyway, we are going to incorporate more weekend 3-day trips into the schedule in June. And I mean, those are going to take advantage of whatever opportunities are out there, but it's let's say, designed to target that bluefin tuna that's been around and reliably so in the last few years. So that, I guess, yes is the answer to that question. And then as far as getting on the boat goes, I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure I follow you there. You make your reservation with Tracy direct by phone, or you can make a reservation online, and then you line up before the boat gets in or in advance of your trip. And
do you line up, Tim, like in order as when they made the reservation, I guess? Like the first guy in line's the guy that was on.
That's exactly right. We have a boarding order, and,
right.
and Tracy will assign you a boarding pass or slip, and that coincides with when your reservation was taken.
There it is. I mean, that's
which is a great incentive to get your deposit in.
Absolutely.
Slide on the boat, find your little nook that you like to keep all your gear, and away you go.
Exactly. But we can go back to the beginning. You're talking about a 3-day trip offshore. You know what I mean? Hey, the gear requirements are pretty clear. You really don't need to bring the kitchen sink. You can
some flat falls. You need some hooks.
Flat falls,
and some
hooks, and you can go make a trip like that with a pretty a small amount of space taken up. So there's plenty of room on the boat.
You could do a brown paper bag and do a 3-day no problem, that includes catching 200-pounders.
That's coming from the owner of a tackle shop. Folks.
Right. Now that I think about that, you're right. I mean, an SKB does seem like a pretty good idea. Some rocket launchers, maybe some. No, that's it. Couple flat falls. Get some heavy fluoro, a handful of hooks, a little bit of circle. Man, you're good to go, Charlie.
Right.
Appreciate the phone call, buddy. Thanks very much. Who's up next, Corey?
Well, let's do this, Rick, and we're going to talk to John. John's calling from Huntington Beach. Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. John?
Hey, good morning, guys. Great show, as always. And quick question about fishing for the big bluefin.
Shoot.
Go ahead.
Are you guys there?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead and make cast. We're ready.
All right. So my question is, if you were fishing with a sinker and a bait for the big bluefin, would you invest in a glow-in-the-dark sinker, and if that would be an effective way to attract the bluefin to your bait?
That's not a bad idea, actually. I mean, either that or put a glow stick on there if you're doing it at night. That's not a bad idea. I mean, you think about longline fishing, and that's pretty darn effective. So I wouldn't discourage it. That's for darn sure. That's one of those things that you just got to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's sure not going to hurt your scenario. You
Exactly.
know, whether that makes the difference or not, who's to say? But it's definitely not going to detract from it.
That's right. I have to tell you, through my years of fishing out there in the water, whenever somebody asks me about something and says, "Hey, what do you think about this?" my go-to response is, "Give it a try."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's let the fish tell us what they want.
I remember I was about 15 years old, working back in the Pacific Queen with Eddie McEwen, and somebody had the ugliest lure I've ever seen in my life and said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I was like, "Man, that thing won't get bit, whatever."
Guaranteed that's not working.
Yeah, and he put it out, and you know what happened.
Yeah, right.
Jig strike. It was like an 80 fish stop for albacore. So I learned. I'm a quick study. That was about what, 35 years ago. Now anybody says anything, I don't care if it's a sausage. Put it on, man. Go for it.
Let's give this thing a shot.
Might work.
And I say that as a joke. I mean, I had a friend tell me once, let's let the fish tell us what they want.
Well, it's true.
It is absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah, I'd be worried that the fish might eat the sinker instead
They might.
of the bait.
It might.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could happen.
But it's not going to hurt anything. I mean,
might want to put a hook on it,
right?
Hey, I got to tell you the quick story. So Steve Loomis, this is an epic Loomis story.
I got to say, too, because that's who I always think of whenever anybody asks me, will this work or question. So, yeah, go ahead.
Bluefin fishing offshore. It's about 20 years ago. And one of our anglers, it was big bluefin. It was in the 90s down there somewhere, 150 miles south. Anyway, we're using big reels. Angler gets a giant backlash. And, I'm helping him out. Fishing's going on. I grab a 12-ounce sinker out of the cabinet. I put it on his hook, and I go on the downwind side and, straighten the backlash all out.
Use
get it down
the sinker to help pull the line off and get the backlash.
Exactly. Let it all out there. You know what happened. 180-pounder on it, right? on the sinker as I winded it back in. Got a big, beautiful bluefin. So I see Loomis back at the dock, and I tell him a story. I say, yeah, eat this sinker. And he looks at me just quick as a whip, goes, "Did you try another one?"
I can see
first
it.
thing he said.
I can see it.
And I look out like, no, he's like, why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? That one worked.
Yeah, that's what they were biting.
Think about it.
Totally.
Yeah,
that's an old school flat fall.
It's a flat
It's a straight fall. That's pretty cool.
Love the stories.
John, go get a big one, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Blow that sinker up. Let us know how she goes. Appreciate the phone call.
Oh, nothing but good times. We're going to talk to Bob. Bob's calling from Dana Point. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Thank you. Hi, Uncle Bob here.
It is Uncle Bob. Good morning.
I've been doing this 70 years fishing. You have your dream trips. I got on the Pacific Dawn a week ago Thursday, in a 2-day trip in the early morning. 3 flatfall fish, and then at daybreak started catching 200-pound bluefin on the dead flying fish on the kite. They wouldn't hit anything other than that. We had a fish going from early morning till dark. We caught 16 that averaged 200. I used my Talica 50 with a low gear in it as a kite rod for me.
The track.
Got a 227.
A 227. Nice, Bob.
And, of course, rock cod, that was the largest one on the boat. But then the next morning, we got 3 flatfalls, and that was it. But we had 16 that averaged 200 and 6 flatfall fish.
What a
for like a day's fishing.
Unbelievable, Bob.
It's epic.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you it can happen. And, it's the beauty of fishing. There were a lot of boats out then, and, there were a couple that were right in the mix, right along everybody else, right alongside her, and they just loaded up. They just had the right line. They drifted down, whatever. There was a bunch of spectators that day, but if you were among the lucky few, God, I mean, that's what gets you out there again and again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's not your time, it'll be next time.
Yep.
Pat Kavanaugh, as you know, excellent captain.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a stud. He had a lot of experience catching those big fish on the XL, so it wasn't a surprise. And those guys had that kind of fish, and they knew what to do with it. They clearly maximized the effort, and that's that's the difference between a top-notch captain and crew and a crew that's maybe less than that. Is that when you get that opportunity, that the guys who know what they're doing, they make good on it. That's how a catch like that is made, rather than it being, a Chinese fire drill and things just going wrong right and left. Those guys that are the pros, man, they get that chance and they convert.
Maximize the number of bites the school's going to give you, and then maximize the number of fish that bite to put them on the deck. And
and you hear a story like that, you hear a report like that. That's not luck.
Yeah,
maybe 2 or 3 would be luck, or 4 or 5. Maybe you got really lucky, but 16, 18, that ain't luck.
Yeah. and Bob had an incredible time. And Bob, we appreciate you calling this morning. Awesome stories.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
All right, and when we come back on Let's Talk Hookup, we're going to have more reports, more time with Tim Ekstrom from the Royal Star, and we're going to find out who's won this wonderful pair of Maui Jim Big Wave sunglasses on Mighty 1090. Let's Talk Hookup.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
There's nothing more peaceful than fishing. Just me, my pole, and some bait. Oh, and my life jacket, of course. I like fish, but I don't want to end up at the bottom of the water with them. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
This is Rick Jensen with Sport Fishing Financial. I think most of you get that I'm a fisherman and work with the fishing community, but to understand exactly what Sport Fishing Financial does, ask yourself these 4 questions. First, do you really know how much money you'll need in order to retire comfortably? Next, do you know how much you'll have to save on a regular basis to reach that number? Do you have a process that includes a proven investment strategy and confidence that the money you save will grow? Last, do you have a plan for how to turn your savings into retirement income? If you don't have good answers to these questions, you're not alone, but you should, and I can make sure you do. In addition, if you own a business and currently provide or are planning on providing a retirement savings plan for yourself or your employees, we should really talk. We offer an outstanding variety of creative solutions that are sure to meet your needs.
Some of our listeners may feel overwhelmed. Others may believe they are already doing the best they can. In either case, I bet Rick can help. Set a time to meet with him and start planning for your personal or business investment success. Find Rick on the web at sportfishingfinancial.com or give him a call at 949-481-1807.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest that's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Sorry, Rick, I know we're both.
Over again. You did it, yeah.
We're having such a great time in here with Tim, and honestly, I mean, we're just in our moment here. But the Big Wave Maui Jim sunglasses, Jeff on Santee, you're the big winner, and it just proves that you don't have to get on air. He was on hold for a little while, and just to call and get on and a chance to win, and
you got it, buddy.
Good times, Rick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations, Jeff. You're going to love those glasses, Tim. I mean, we say it every time. I can't get over how fast 2 hours can go. 2 hours at work takes all day to go by, and 2 hours hanging out with you, BS and fishing, it's over in a second. And, man, we really appreciate you taking the time and talking fishing because it's what we all love to do.
I come in here and I've got a couple of things that I want to talk about. I think about it ahead of time. I didn't talk about them.
Yeah, exactly.
It just blew right by. It's just like the fastest 2 hours. I remember one time Pete and I did a show. It was 3 hours. It was like heaven. We finally had time to cover everything from A to Z. But even then it went by fast. So I'll look forward to the next time.
Can't wait,
I'm hoping it's sooner than later. Thank you guys very much. A reminder, Ricky said that there's some spots open. We're looking at on the website right now. Just a spot here and there on the 7-day trips in September, even one on a trip in October. Give Tracy a call, 619-224-4764. Look on our website. Follow along our daily narrative. We keep it updated on the boat,
job.
live
Love
from
it.
the water, pictures, and report from the day's fishing. And it's nice to follow along. Just gotta feel of what's going on throughout the season.
I know we didn't even get a chance to talk about it. I know that it's going to come and there'll be plenty of time to, but we didn't even get a chance to mention Mazatlan trips coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Really excited.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we have 2 Let's Talk Hookup Mazatlan trips coming up in January. Can't wait for that. You guys are always pushing the envelope on Royal Star, always doing cool new things, and we just can't wait to watch yet another awesome season on that boat and everything coming up, man.
Right on.
Well,
thank you. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here, and we're gonna schedule a couple more because again we just scratched the surface here. So I look forward to it already. Thank you.
Couldn't agree more. Hey, great show, great time. We really want to say a big thanks to Corey hanging out next to me and Tim in the studio. Adam on the other side of the glass had a great time getting to do Let's Talk Hookup this week. We're gonna do it again next weekend. Looking at another couple of great shows next Saturday. Greg Gowett from the Aztecs going to be joining us in the studio. And the next Sunday, Sean Sebring from Fisherman's Processing. Another couple of great shows coming your way. You stay tuned. That's next week. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.